everybody, welcome back to Northern Land Plays Monster Train. Let's get it going today. We have a great run, like a legitimately great run yesterday, where we won easily, mostly because we had the Rector who wrecks. No ore at the end. Oh my god, Stygian melting. Dude, I'm getting so much Stygian melting. I'm not upset. This is new, isn't it? Cuddle Hex. Apply frozen to a random card in hand. So there is a relic that makes frozen cards free. Just food for thought. Just food for thought. And I do like a draft, if we can find a way to bring them back. When you play a unit, a random card in hand is reduced to 0. We don't have expensive cards, but I think in general this is still really good when you got super cheap units. 4 random units. This is really, I look at this as like a non-Stygian, non-melting choice. Generally speaking, I mean, you do get the tempo of having 4 units out there, even though you can't choose how they go. But they tend to have smaller, kind of weaker units with maybe like a text effect. I think we're better off just getting a little bit of a combo piece going here. I think, personally, we don't have energy concerns, so let's take the Frostbite. We're really looking to mix and match Sweep and Frostbite, and hopefully not running into spikes. Enemy units appear on each floor. For 75 coins is tough. It's a tough one. I think we can turn it on, because we should be able to cast enough damage spells to keep to maybe cut down an enemy or 2 per floor. If we get damage spells, that is, which clearly we have not at the present moment. 5, 5, 5, 5, yeah. Well, I don't want to summon nothing. But I think what I'll do is set it up like this to hopefully, yeah, I was just going to say to kill that guy. And the rage units, they're going to do some damage, but they're largely going to burn themselves out by the time they get to the top. I don't really care if you make it. So let's put you up here. We can't really stop you guys. You're not dying? No, but you'll die to Frostbite. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm going to use that up here just to take less pyre damage. Then apart from that, I can't really stop you. And then let's put a couple of dregs at the front, but we won't play the draft yet, because the draft is actually I basically see it like a damage spell, assuming it lives to actually do its attack. It's basically a damage spell. So again, I don't think it's bad to just have a train steward up at the front here, and we are getting a kill out of this. This time I think the draft is acceptable, because we do get the kill there. And we do have another free draft to hold anyway. Sorry, to have and to hold. I always forget that part. We will apply spell weakness, but really our only spell is Frozen Lance. So it's not moving the needle too much. And then up here, I do think it's okay to play a dreg, and maybe we'd rather have the dreg behind. And I think it's okay to play this dreg. I have burnout dreg. Can you milk me? And then we'll play the draft afterwards. We should have enough, especially. Do you have 2 frost? You did get hit with 2 frostbites, so you are dying here. That went fine. I would have liked if it had gone a little bit smoother, but it went fine. I'm not sweating my score too much. I gotta work on my Stygian gameplay. So with spell weakness, and there's a lot of good stuff here. We have no discard engine right now, so Titan's Gratitude has some temptation, but Helical Crystal spell weakness I think is a solid play. So the idea behind this one is, well, I'll tell you, I think I don't take Molten Encasement, and I'll tell you why. Stealth is great, but we can get it via Engulfed in Smoke at some point, hoping it shows up, which is a bit of a dangerous attitude. But I think that we don't want to fill... We have a surplus of units that do not do damage. So I think that it's better for us to take maybe a Purifying Cleanse to keep a draft alive longer. Maybe buff this draft, get some cards that could bring it back, etc., etc. So the long and short of it is I think we need a heavy unit. So a Wickless Baron that could play on a burnout floor and get a little stronger over time. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think Paraffin Enforcer can be okay as well. I think Wickless Baron in front of some drafts is a little bit more a little bit more interesting to me. As far as quick units go, dude, I gotta tell you, I think I really want to upgrade the draft. It's gonna be hard to keep it alive, but even still, this is 40 damage quick. And if we could ever find a way to bring it back from the dead, that's even better. Then we'll make you a little tankier so you can survive a little bit longer. We don't have a lot of potency right now. We're gonna be relying a lot on armor 10. Frostbite hits around. It's going to be real tough to get the haste out of there, but I think we're going to have to do something like this just to get more units. Like, I want some heavy units. So, and this is a situation where I'm sure I don't need to tell you, sweep would be really nice. I think we're going to do Wickless Baron. You guys are going to do so much damage, it's going to make my head spin. We can at least kill one unit. And then I'm trying to see how we want this. I actually think maybe we'll just put the champion up at the top as well. We're not spoiled for choice right now. We kind of gotta play anything we have where we can play it, is the way I would think about this. So let's get you taken care of. You're all the important enemies are going down here, which is all that matters to me. So down here, you don't have quick. 5, 5, 5. So you would be killed before you could do anything. I don't really care to play you, quite frankly. Just because you're gonna burn out and you'd kill a unit that does 1 damage to our pyre. I think the card's more valuable later. This is more what we're looking for, although we would love a way to bring this unit back as well. I think that this is okay, because again, our dude is getting buffed. Why are you not landing? 13, dead. 15, dead. Why are you not getting hit? Because you're dazed. Every time. Well, you know what? Why don't you come out here and take a hit, and then spell weakness is kind of irrelevant. We might as well just hang on to it. I guess we could have played two dregs at the bottom, but I don't know, man. So Cuddle Hex. I think you could live on the second floor for a minute there. We don't dislike that. You are getting hasted, so I guess you're just getting yeeted into the stratosphere. But at least we are getting to keep a card frozen. You have sweep as well, so it's not good. 6-1. We can do 5 damage to you here. And I want to keep the Purifying Cleanse in hand. I think our pyre is about to get bodied pretty hard. 30. Just thinking about it right now. I'm like, do you do better? There's no way you do better with Burnout 2 on yourself. You're super screwed. If I heal you, you'll die faster. So I think our winning play is to do nothing. Then our pyre will be hit 3 times. Still in an okay position, but we need some heavy units or some AoE spells. Like some real AoE spells would be nice. I think Ice Tornado is kind of what we have to go with to live. And I hate to say it, but I think Entombed Explosive is probably also what we're looking for, just to have like a little burst damage. As much as I love the gold, I really think we need some units that can scale. Even though these are not great scalers, I think that it's a start at least. And I'll go heavy, like I think we need another unit. And the Relic is a nice bonus. Apply Daze 3 to units that are moved between floors outside of Ascension. We can't do anything with this yet, so I think we just take the one that maybe makes our pyre substantially more likely to survive. And then Lady of the House, existing as a burnout engine, not a burnout engine, let me rephrase. We can give her more burnout with the Purifying Cleanse, but she probably won't last forever. I'm going to give my money for this to start with. Oh, baby. Extinguish abilities trigger a second time. We usually, at least historically and recently, have gotten very lucky with our timing on that one. I'm happy with how quickly they pay out. In Slay the Spire once, I'm pretty sure we got to like 80 or 90%. Anyway. So, extinguish abilities trigger an additional time. It's something. It's something for sure. Still, you would probably rather not have to just take 20 damage or 20 damage right off the top. I think you kind of build out at the top, honestly. Like, I don't really want to summon a unit just to get yeeted down here. So I think we can have two nice floors, honestly. We can have that floor at the top, and then we can have the floor with the wealthy Baron or Wickless Baron or whatever the heck his name is, and also other dregs in that vicinity. We really want to make Ice Tornado free. So I think you start here. It hit. I think you play the Baron up front, and then Ice Tornado lets you get somewhat buffed. Now down here, Train Steward dies, Cuddle Hex dies. What else? Do we need anything else up here? I would say probably not. I'm gonna be on. No, I think we can live with this. I think we can play Cuddle Hex in the back so it can still do some damage. And the Train Steward we won't play up here. We could, but I don't think it's necessary. Because we can just hold on to it for when it's a little bit more applicable, maybe. So we do want to put a Siren of Song down at the bottom. And get some incants going. There is 24 damage coming out right here. And I don't know how we're going to get out in front of that, but Lord knows we're going to try. Not dying, which is a start. 23 damage. I think you've got to keep playing your incants up here if you want to get maximum value. We'll play a Dreg down here just to cushion the blow even a little bit more. I mean, at this point, we probably could play a Train Steward at the back. Oh, she burned out. We didn't have a Purifying Cleanse yet. Of course, we drew it immediately afterwards, but... okay, so we gotta really think about the way we're going to approach this one. I really don't want you to die. Or you, for that matter. Start with something like that. I gotta think about this. The champion living is pretty important. The draft will get 2 kills. So maybe you go draft. I'll just say it, okay? He's dazed. At least now, okay, there we go. We got something coming out. You're dying. I can't keep you alive. I can at least block, I was gonna say 10 damage for you. I think with our Pyre health, we're honestly probably gonna be fine. But it sucks pretty bad. This is relatively big here. But everything is still dying. Our champion is living. Could have summoned it behind it, but okay. We really want to keep the draft alive when possible. Because the draft is, sadly, our like best damage dealer. But he is going to burn out on this turn. But we're still going to get 2 kills. That's a start, dude. You do 9 damage per hit, huh? I want to freeze the Dreg in my hand. But if I play you, you're just coming out here to die. So, it doesn't really make sense. We got lucky that the Dreg stuck around. The boss has some Frostbite on them, which is really going to help us out. And this is basically what I wanted, to be quite frank. Because now we have the Dreg coming out here. We can give him extra burnout so he does more damage. You've got 18 HP left. I think we play this and hope for the best. Because we can't play units to make anything else cheaper. We can play this, but that doesn't really change anything. Okay. It did remove your spell weakness, but we knew that was coming anyway. You're going to take 105? I'm not optimistic you're taking very much damage on our top floor, but at the very least, we're still in there. At least we're still doing something. You got 11 frostbite. Now you're taking 85 damage. Now you're dead. Okay, I kind of don't believe it. Alright, we're still trying to make Stygian work. Stop trying to make Stygian work. I do like Bounty Stalker Endless, I think is incredible. Or would we rather like, dude, to be honest, it might be better to apply Endless to the draft. Which is not impossible. It's hard, don't get me wrong. It's not impossible. I really think we need a sweep unit that can kill the units at the back before they become a problem. I don't see capacity being an enormous issue, but energy is really good for us because of our first relic we took. So, I think this is okay. I almost worry that we have a few too many units. This might be a spell-focused sort of situation for me. Let's see what we got here. Remove, consume, and cost one more was pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Oh my god, things are expensive now. And we absolutely want you to have sweep. So now we got a double sweeper. Now in terms of what we're removing, honestly, like the stewards I don't think are great, but if we could at least just get rid of some of these god-awful frozen lances, now we're talking, boys. Let's turn this off for the time being. Let's take some time to get used to where we're at. We're at a relatively high Covenant rank. We don't need to be impressing people. I know you're like, well, I watch other Twitch streamers, and the other Twitch streamers... Hold on, you do 12 damage? Hard for me to get around that, but if I use you as just a body, we can. When I watch the other Twitch streamers... they always take every challenge. Yeah, because they're playing Hell Rush, which is Covenant rank 0. Or 1, I guess. I don't know how they index it. And I think I want you to be the tank in the future here, so let's do that. I don't mind losing the basic draft to do a little extra damage. So that's my thoughts on that subject. Well, I'm being sassy. I think that we actually stumbled into a great get here. I think that Entombed Explosive up at the front... I don't really care for a Train Steward here. I think we care for a Baron here. And then actually, maybe at that point we would put a Train Steward in front just to tank for the guy until he gets buff. You're getting away. I can't really stop that. We want you to incant. So let's get one of those. And then we want our one-cost tank to be endless. I wanted it on the draft. We didn't get the draw we wanted. I think this is the draw we needed for now. Oh my god, if you'll allow me, just one moment please, I'll go to the door. I'm back! Oh, you're really gonna live with one? Come on. Come on, man. I really think that was a good get on that unit. I think that was a very positive get for us to have, like, an endless tank. That's pretty nice, too. So are we gonna let you do 5 damage to our pyre? Or are we gonna use helical crystals to kill you? It's gonna seem insane, but I really think we use helical crystals to kill you, because it doesn't really change anything on this floor. It wouldn't even do any extra damage to the Clipped Guardian, I think. So, I think we like Lady of the House on the top in the hopes that we can keep her alive. We gotta find a way to work with that. We love the Dreg here because it does power up the Baron a little bit. The Baron is not really making incredible progress, but we're doing what we can. So. You're still dying. That's not great. And unfortunately, any spells are gonna make things worse for us. How are you taking 74? So you're taking 70 here. This only does 6, and you get 10 armor off of it. It's not great. Are we okay with losing all these individuals here? It's hard for us to really do anything about it, I guess, is the other question. So you 5, 7, 7. If I heal you for 10, 5, 7, 7, you actually seem to live. No, you need a little bit more to live, which sucks real bad. Now you're dying, though. Clearly, I've done the math wrong. Why don't you take some spell weakness as well? Now you live. Whether that was too much is, to put it quite frankly, an obvious problem. And now the Lady of the House at the top is also going to not live. She's going to burn out, but she's going to get a kill in the process. We like you at the front no matter what. We don't, oh, you're burning out now, dude. That's okay. Mostly... Yeah, that's fine. Maybe you should have put the cuttlefish at the back, but... Mostly, we're just trying to make sure that our champion and Cold Celia live long enough to apply a couple of turns of Frostbite, which is extremely great for us. Because you attack first, why not put you at the front? It changes things extremely, and for the better, for sure. Every extra turn we can get of Frostbite. Well, with 3 is not really that much, quite frankly, but you have no spell weakness either. Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. So you got 2 turns of the burnout. You're losing half your life here. The problem is really that the top floor is not very impressive. This doesn't heal anybody to the point where they can actually live longer, so we're not going to sweat that. We know that as long as we got 1 space, we can summon the Entombed Explosive. It'll do 70 damage. And then this does 50. And we totally whiffed on the spell weakness, but could have gotten there. Okay. We know, though, that we can't rely on Entombed Explosive to be endless forever. It's not an endgame scenario that makes sense for us. Because it doesn't do enough damage to work down the boss. So, I think having an alternate source of damage like Frostbite is extremely valuable. I do like you being here. I just kind of worry that... no, I think you deserve to be there. You synergize very nicely with our Harvest unit. But I think we need to make our units better, which is not going to be applicable here. So we are going to do some addition via subtraction, and... I mean, it's hard for me to cut the train stewards right now, though I know that this is fairly likely to be a bit controversial. I'm gonna be honest. Let's make Remnant Pack Permafrost by default. Let's get this out of our deck as soon as possible, and you know, any ways that we can find to minimize the crappiness of our deck is great news. I think we are going to continue to not take these, though it scares me because we're kind of slowing down our growth curve. What if you start... No, because we really like you on the bottom floor, my dude. I think this is actually a very nice situation right here. You are getting 2 harvest triggers, but there's not a whole lot we can do to stop that. And, well, our Wealthy Steward is missing 2, which is probably worse, but, 6-7 is the damage being done here. What if you use Lady of the House as your tank? She can tank with the best of them. And then you could have, like, an Incant floor with Frostbite abilities, because I think we do want Cold Celia at the bottom. And then this floor pretty much exists just to get harvest triggers, which means we actually should have summoned the Train Steward in front, but the Dreg will make space in the future. And you're going to get away with the money, which is also bad, but we've taken out all the Frozen Lances. Which means we have, like, no targeted damage spells, but that's okay because they were not great targeted damage spells to begin with. Okay, we want Glacial Seal, and we got it. And then Helical Crystals will pretty much ice you, which keeps our unit at the front alive as well. Okay, she's still doing okay. We actually do not want to play the Draft. We do want you up at the front. Okay, that's good stuff. The Draft will get frozen in hand for a turn when we can put Endless on it. Is the Draft being Endless better than the other unit being Endless that we had before? Hey, here's a question for you. What are we going to do about it? We already played that unit. How does that make you feel? You're not dying, but we can easily get around this. Like, you come out here. You're gonna die. You're stunned for a turn. Sorry, I forgot about the fact that you come out stunned. That's what we're looking for. Well, we still want to make you endless. And I appreciate the incants. Go ahead and hit my pyre for 6. No, we want the incant triggers. Dude, I'm just going to be 1,000% honest with you. I feel like this deck is toasted. I feel like we're going nowhere. But I'm really trying. I'm really trying here. You're going to hit our pyre. It is what it is. The draft works a lot better up here. And then, honestly, you're just coming up here to give us a card in the future. Anybody dealing with some burnout problems? This draft, honestly, is very nice if we can get it going, even just a little bit longer. A Train Steward up at the front. We could still put a Votivary up at the front. I don't expect this unit to live that much longer, so we'll probably use them as a tank. Oh, Extinguish abilities trigger twice. That's right, so we get 2 draw out of it. Now you, with multi-strike, is pretty bad. So I think we have to play the draft on every floor for 40 damage. It would be nice to have a Purifying Cleanse to go along with it. And you might as well play it at the front so it takes a hit for the actual units that matter. And then, I mean, you'd really just put a... if you put a Votivary at the front, there's no space for the other freaking units! So the Votivary you do not play on this turn. Maybe it'll get frozen. That's decent damage. And then in terms of, like, frozen stuff up here... Oh, you can put the Votivary up here. That's fine. And I think we pass, because there's not much space to play anything else. $10 Frostbite is not encouraging. You're taking 62. We only have space for 1. I think we, for sure, want to make... you come out here. And then... we really... I don't think the Endless does anything for us. We can just play a Dreg up here or next turn. Probably the Votivary is not relevant. So we'll play the Helical Crystals for a pretty substantial damage gain. And this top floor is going to be mighty interesting. You definitely want... sorry, the draft. I always call it a Dreg, but you know what I mean. And you come out stunned. However... wait a moment. Wait a moment here. We're getting so many incants. You got multi-strike, so it's not like we can put out much to stop you here to begin with. The Endless is completely irrelevant. We want as much Frostbite as possible. So even just Endless on the Votivary, even though it's already got it. We'll see. It's not even close. We're toasted. Oh my god, dude. I don't want to be the Stygian melting anymore. Next time I see the Stygian melting, I'm turning and running the other way, okay? For now, thanks for watching. I apologize for the shorter episode, but we really did try. And I'll see you next time. See ya.